You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say and can will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have them present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questionings if you wish. All right. You good, dude?
You good, dudes? Everybody good? Go back and say hello to everybody. Wipe your tears away. It's okay. We're going to talk about it, then we're going to keep it moving because it's been a sad day in rock. Rubber Amada, hello. You're first, but you'll be back while you're still here. So nice to see you. Cara, welcome in. Jenny Jen, how are you, Miss Day One? Nice to see you. Cindy from sunny South Florida. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful love. How are you? Tony, welcome in. I love your butterfly. Always makes me smile. Teresa, everyone. Oh, evening, everyone. The radio is playing Sabbath all day as a tribute to Ozzy. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. I have missed you guys. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. I looked for you yesterday and Sunday just in case. I know. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Real life kicked me in the teeth. Grandma went to the hospital and it's just been a thing. It's been a whole thing. Tracy, hi, Rubber Ramada. Hi, Yo. Hi, Tracy. Rebecca, rest in peace, Aussie. Thank you for coming by, Rebecca. It's nice to see you. I love your little avatar. Stoic says, Aussie, the Prince of Darkness has gone to the light. Amen. Sad times. Indie girl, so nice to see you. So nice to see you. Excellent choice of tunes and so true. Yeah, there's so many. There's so many. So many really, really good ones. Hey, everyone coming in. Grandma and Nanny are both doing really well today. So Grandma got out of the hospital, went back home. I know, but I really miss you guys. And what I want to do, when I'm out and about, I'm like, I want to do the members only. But I've been in hospitals. And, with HIPAA and everything here in the U.S., it's really hard to get out and, just kind of do the damn thing without violating somebody's rights. So the first thing I want to talk about is how you guys are doing before we move on. I want to do some true crime tonight, but I want to know how you guys are doing. How's everybody been? There's been some really big things happen in the last couple of days. We've got some really big things coming up. Tonight we're going to talk about Ozzy. We're going to talk about a little girl named Melina. We're going to talk about the Stephan Sterns hearing. The Bryan Kohberger hearing for tomorrow. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, Theodore, and Erik Menendez. That's my plan for tonight. You're hanging in there? You're tired? You've been doing those long trials. I'm glad you're hanging in there, Cara. So today, rock obviously lost one of its most unforgettable icons, Ozzy Osbourne. He's the pioneering frontman of Black Sabbath, been around forever, it seems. He passed away at the age of 76 today. He was peacefully surrounded by all of his loved ones. I want to look back just a little bit on his life, the legacy, his health battles in the last couple of years, and then this final chapter of his journey, which we all got to see. I know Rubber was actually in the live stream of his last concert. You're exhausted. Stearns, Aussie, today was the dentist, gift shopping and grocery shopping. So much. Indy, how are you doing? So much going on. Let's see. Let's get to this first page here so I can pull up something so you guys aren't just looking at me because you can't even see me if I'm being factual. Let's share this. Just like normal, just a chill stream tonight. There's a million things going on and I can't plan for any of them. What's that for how's that for life be life? And so his family came out with just a brief statement I saw on X and then a couple of different different places. I know people, this particular magazine itself, and it says, "It is with more sadness than mere words can convey that we have to report that our beloved Ozzy Osbourne has passed away this morning." So they were just asking that, everybody respect the family and the privacy at this time. And of course, a lot of people loved him, so they're going to be all up in his business and try to find out, you know, how things happened at the end. I am going to pull this up. This is the cutest thing I found.
Special with rock and roll dads met children, featuring Ozzy Osbourne. When the lights go down and the music stops, they're just your average rock and roll.
So I'll play a little bit of this, and I'm going to leave it playing in the background. But if this is, do you guys remember, like back in the day, Joan Rivers, we had Sally Jesse Raphael, we had Geraldo Rivera, we had a ton of people. Like they were all during the time of my mom, yes, but my grandmother mostly. My grandmother, my great grandmother used to love to sit down and watch these shows that would come on, like not like Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer was later. The kind of, yeah, Donahue, absolutely, Phil Donahue. So it's like later in life that all that kind of stuff started coming around. But Joan Rivers did this interview. Oh, okay, Millie, that probably hurts. Let's time Millie out, and maybe she'll come in with a better attitude. Yeah. I hope your butt gets better, Millie. Dang. Goodness gracious. Yeah, ouch. That's what I was thinking. Maybe you need to sit over in the, yeah, for about 5 minutes there and get yourself together. Maybe you can come back in, go and wipe or do whatever you need to do, and you'll feel better. All right, let's go back in here.
Rose dads, okay? Which doesn't mean that they're not controversial. My first guest has been involved in numerous lawsuits by parents who claim that his music is responsible for their children's suicides. He is known as the rock minister of mayhem. Let's just take a quick look.
So this, you can only do a couple of seconds on the actual music. At the very first part of the live, it'll probably get cut out because it'll get struck right away, because his music is very, very known. You like Sally Jesse Raphael and her red glasses? Yeah, I remember those. Look at the graphics on the TV from way back when. It's crazy. So they're gonna introduce them, but look at little Jack. Look at Jack. Look at Kelly. I think her name is his daughter's name Lois. I can't remember if it's Lois. I think it is. We'll see in a minute. I'm sure they'll introduce them. I know that for sure though that that's Kelly and Jack. Look at that hair. They're rocking out on the couch.
In private life, he's just a regular dad who drives his kids to school and cooks their meals. Joining us now via satellite from London. Isn't that
Did you see that face he made? He's like, no, don't. He said, cooks your meals. Watch this face. This is hilarious.
their meals? Joining us now via
What?
satellite from London. Isn't that exciting? Please welcome the madman of rock and roll, Ozzy Osbourne, and his 3 children. Let me just show you. Amy,
Oh, Amy.
Kelly,
Amy.
and Jack.
Amy. I don't know why I call her Lois. That was weird. Hi, Southern Cat. Welcome in. Exactly.
Now, first of all, can I get the ages of everybody? Amy, how old are you?
I'm 7 years old.
All right. And what about you, Kelly?
I'm 6 years old.
Okay.
Aww.
And that leaves us Jack.
I'm 5 years old.
All right. And how old's the teddy bear and what's his name?
This is the cutest thing. He did. He had 2 kids before him and Sharon got married, if I could recall correctly. Yeah, his hair was actually decent there. He was still young enough to do it himself. So Ozzy was born John Michael Osborne. He was born on December the 3rd, 1948 in Birmingham. and he came from some working class roots. And in 1968, he co-founded Black Sabbath with a few of his friends, Bill Ward and Geezer and Tony. And in 1970, they debuted an album and then released Paranoid and Master of Reality. So there were the two earliest blueprints for heavy metal. He was known as the Prince of Darkness, became known as the Prince of Darkness, the voice and persona that defined a whole genre of metalists behind him. Hi, hi, Jackie. Hi, Joy. Yeah, I know, right? Sabbath. So after parting ways with Sabbath in 1979, Ozzy started a solo career, and in 1980 he did the Blizzard of Oz. That's where he had the Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley. Mr. Crowley is my favorite. Um, No More Tears came out. Beyond his music, he had a MTV reality show. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure everybody remembers the Osbournes, right? Uh, where it kind of showed a different side of him, like the humor and the humility and unpredictability that was Ozzy Osbourne, which we saw in predictability on stage, of course. But growing up, we kind of just saw the man in the music, but then MTV kind of showed us the side of the Osbournes and made him more human. They did that with Kiss too, right? With Gene Simmons, his show. If you watch that music video at the beginning of this clip, his hair was like his mom started giving him a bowl cut but decided to stop at bangs. When did he eat the bat? That's all I know about him. Oh gosh, I don't know when that was, but I remember it being a thing. Hey Eddie, well the thing is, welcome in. So, um, despite having some health setbacks, Ozzy returned to the stage for one last time on July 5th of 2025. Black Sabbath reunited at Villa Park in Birmingham for the Back to the Beginning farewell concert that was streamed globally, and where Jason Momoa came out and jumped into the middle of the. You'll be good now, Millie. I doubt it, but but we'll see. Welcome back. You're too cute. At least you're a good troll. Oh goodness. When I told my husband Ozzy passed away, he asked if the ants he snorted finally made it to his brain. Goodness. Yeah, definitely family man. I mean, he looks like a family man. And he says, "Hey, Rubber." My son loved watching the Osbournes. I did like the Osbournes. You like Ozzy too? Billy, you're funny. You're welcome to be here. 1982, he bit the head off and spat it out, Joy said. Joy, she's a fan. She's a fan. Do you have a crown? I don't know. Do you? Let's see what the top fans say here. Rebecca is number 1 with 75 XP. Stoic is number 2. Rubber is number 3. Jenny Jen's coming in at a hot number 4. Teresa's number 5. Joy's number 6. Tony's number 7. Cara's number 8. Indie Girl's number 9. And 10 is Southern Cats. And 11 following up. Cindy, you better get to chatting. You better talk and talk and talk. Number 1 commenter. Rebecca, because you're a queen. You are welcome to be here, Millie. I'm glad you're here. Um, okay, so what was I saying? He was unable to stand due to the advanced Parkinson's, but he did perform from his seat. Uh, in 2003, he had a serious spinal injury accident in a quad bike, or sorry, serious spinal injury due to a quad bike accident. In 2019, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's and had battled respiratory illnesses and spinal complications since then. But he described himself or his own legacy of survival um, as being his legacy. Legacy is survival, is what he said. Survival is my legacy. So Ozzy sold over 100 million records, earned 2 Rock Hall of Fame inductions, first with Black Sabbath in 2006, again solo in 2024. And he is, from what I can derive, is one of the people that shaped the heavy metal genre. So tributes are pouring out from everywhere. Elton John, Robert Plant, Metallica, all of the legends in Birmingham that he grew up with, and of course all of his former bands, the people that he performed with. So Ozzy forever. I'm sad. I'm sad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm really glad that I'm really glad that everybody is being so respectful and so happy for him. Even though he 76 seems kind of young, right? But he did have Parkinson's and he was suffering. Oh, yeah, he did. Joy. I love it. They all look so calm. I know, right? They don't look like they're. Let's see what they're saying.
Madonna.
Would you? What do you want to be when you grow up? Have you thought about it?
No, not recently.
What about you, Kelly? Have you thought about what you'd like to be when you grow up?
No.
No.
She's like, no, I ain't thought about it.
What about you, Jack? Would you like to be a singer like your dad?
Yeah.
Do you like your dad's tattoos?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do they say?
And one's got mummy on and it's got pictures of monsters and witches and bats.
Does it scare you, or do you just know it's all funny?
Right, Jack was cute.
I think it's funny.
Yeah. What about the other kids? Do any of you get teased? Amy, do you get teased because your dad wears makeup on stage? No. Yeah?
Hang on.
No.
I've got to. She's a ventriloquist doll, really. I've got to.
What do you?
Do you get teased at school about what I do?
Yeah, I do a lot.
A lot?
And it really upsets me because I'm a really lucky girl of what I've got and things that I get.
Yes,
Aww.
you are. Yes, you are.
Welcome
And you
back.
have a very nice daddy, and we like him very, very much in America. And I thank you. It's so strange and so lovely to see you in this atmosphere, may I just say, because I'm a big fan of yours. But I never thought I'd see you sitting here with 3 picture book children. And I thank you all.
So I think that was the whole highlight of the thing when that came out was like nobody had seen him in that setting. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Joan. Okay, so I know that I know there's an interview that came out with I can't remember the guy, he's passed since, but where Sharon was talking about when she fell in love with Ozzy, and she said he had when his divorce from his first wife, he had already had 2 previous kids. So do they have 4 together? Hi, Bellis. Welcome in. We're just chilling. We're just chilling. Right now we're talking about Ozzy. Indy says, hi, Bellis. Cara says, hi, Bellis. Yeah, we're just chilling. So they did a ton. Yeah, there's a ton of tributes coming out. So that's amazing. Um, I didn't get to see the show. So Rubber sent it to me and I didn't get to see it. But I did see that he was sitting in a wheelchair and I saw a couple of things from it. Let me pull this up because they were doing some tributes and I wanted to show you that. Bear with me. Apparently I'm rusty after 3 days of being gone. I don't know much about his personal life. I remember the spread in a rock magazine when they got married. Yeah, it was a while ago, right? They met when she was 18, but it was later that they actually got together. I really should watch it. I really should watch it. Let's see. Where was it? So this is from Tony. I can't believe it. My dearest friend Ozzy has passed only weeks after our show at Villa Park. It's just such heartbreaking news that I can't really find the words. There won't ever be another like him. Geezer, Bill, and myself have lost our brother. My thoughts go out to Sharon, all the Osborne family. Rest in peace, Oz and Tony. Bill said, "Where will I find you now? In the memories, our unspoken embraces, our missed phone calls. No, you're forever in my heart. Deepest condolences to Sharon and all family members. Rest in peace. Sincere regrets to all the fans. Never goodbye. Thank you forever, Bill Ward." Oh, do you guys know who Youngblood is? I don't think, I didn't think you would leave so soon. The last time we met, you were so full of life, and your laugh filled up the room. But as it is written with legends, they seem to know things that we don't. I will never forget you. You will be in every single note I sing, and with me every, I think, I'm sure it says show. I want to hit more there. It'll take me out of there. Youngblood's not for everybody. I like Youngblood though. I like Youngblood myself. Okay, so that's our respectful tribute to Ozzy. I wish we could play his music all stream, but then I would be uh crying and laying on the floor and sad and all that kind of good stuff. So the next couple of stories are sad enough as it is. The next one I want to put up here. You've never heard any of Youngblood songs? You'll definitely have to look that up because I like his music. Welcome in, Orange. It's so good to see you. Yeah, rest in peace, Ozzy. Rest in peace. Eddie, I think I missed you asking a question. I'm gonna keep it solo tonight because I missed everybody. But I will do a stream and we're gonna do an open panel tomorrow night. So come back and tell me all the things you want to tell me. It's not that I don't want you here. It's just I'm so scatterbrained. I want you all up here with me. But I'm gonna do a solo tonight and then we'll do open panel tomorrow. And if you're doing a live, let me know. I'll come up and we'll hang out and you can tell me all the things because you know I like chatting with you. I'm glad you got to see him several times too. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Sharon is cool. She's a bright lady. Yeah, yeah. My last name, different spelling. That's your last name? Osborne is your last name, but different spelling? You can't do rock? There's some things that are less rock. I'm serious. If you're doing a live, you let me know. I'll come and hang out. Or if you come back in tomorrow, we'll hang out, okay? You'll be back better than ever. Are you leaving? Joy spells it Smith. Oh, Smith. Oh, Youngblood. I love his music. You guys will have to check him out. You went to Aussie Fest once? Yeah, they've had it here at the Texas Motor Speedway over in Fort Worth, I believe. And I didn't get to go, and I will forever regret not going. I will forever regret not going. So there's a heart wrenching case that's coming out of upstate New York. I'm gonna butcher her name until I hear it again. I said it earlier, but I'll have to watch it and listen to it again. But her name is 9-year-old Melina Galanis. I believe it's Frattolin. We'll get to know it together. But she died while they were vacationing. Her and her father. He is now facing second-degree murder charges. So I want to go through some of the backstory, what's coming out on that investigation, and what's coming up next. Hi, Maria. Welcome in. You go live at 6 p.m. tomorrow? Okay, good. Have you learned how to do the redirect, Eddie? I have not learned how to do that yet, but I need to. We need to. Type O negative. Oh, how much fun would that have been? Yeah, I'm definitely jealous of that. Okay, so let's put it up. Let's pull this up here. Wake up, PC. It's okay. You can do more than one thing at one time. We're used to it. I know that I've gotten this several times from several of you back in Discord, and I haven't had a chance to cover this. So I really appreciate it. I think Hannah, maybe Abellis, maybe even you have. Good. I'll get over there and I'll have you teach me how to do it. and maybe even Cara. But the preliminary autopsy has come out, and it shows that Melina died of asphyxiation. It's asphyxia due to drowning, and her death has officially been ruled a homicide. Oh, this little thing. All right, let's go through the backstory before I get too sad about this one. Some of these are a little heavy tonight. So, Melina lived with her mother in Montreal. Her parents have been estranged since 2019. Let me put her there so we can see her face as I'm talking about her. Sweet baby girl. Sweet baby 9-year-old. Does she look 9 to you? She's beautiful. She just, yeah. Oh. Anyways, her mom and dad, her parents were estranged since 2019 after custody arrangements changed. Luciano, who co-owned an Ethiopian coffee company, was facing financial strain over around $200,000 in debt and struggling to pay his child support. That's revealed by his now online deleted profile. The authorities are exploring whether the custody tensions or financial desperation is partly what played a role in what he's done. The New York State Police are looking for the video and or eyewitnesses who may have seen his gray 2024 Toyota Prius. It was a rental traveling between I-87 on exit 28 and 20 on the night that she disappeared. They're asking anybody with information who might have been in that area to contact the police immediately. Why is the greatest danger for these kids coming from parents? Why is the greatest danger for these children coming from the people that we love the most? Like the people that we love the most, the people that we trust the most in our lives. Anyway, Luciano's next court appearance is scheduled for this Friday. They're going to talk about bail. They're going to talk about his legal representation. They're going to talk about the evidence. I just can't. It seems like it, I guess. I guess it has always been that way. I don't know. You heard about this one? She is a pretty little girl. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is wrong with people. It's crazy. It's crazy. There are rotten people. So the preliminary autopsy revealed she died from asphyxia. We talked about that. She was found on Sunday, July the 20th, in New York after her father falsely reported her missing during their vacation from Canada. He was charged today, I believe. Let me pull that video up. I believe it was today that he was officially charged. Let me share this other page.
For more than a week.
Police say Melina Frattolin and young Melina, both from Montreal, came into the U.S. on Friday, July 11th for a vacation trip. Police say part of their trip took them to Connecticut.
And at about 5:30 Saturday afternoon, police say surveillance video captured Melina and her father at a McDonald's restaurant in Saratoga Springs. Police say Luciano called 911 at just before 10 o'clock Saturday night, saying Melina had been abducted at a rest area on the Northway near exit 22 in Lake George.
Police now say that abduction report was false. They found the 9-year-old's body in Ticonderoga yesterday afternoon under a log in a shallow pond. News Channel 13's Kumi Tucker has been covering this story all weekend. She was there as state police revealed new information today.
Kumi joins us now live from Troop G headquarters in Latham with more of those breaking new details. Kumi, good evening to you.
Good evening, Mark and Sabrina. Well, state police call this a very difficult case and a heartbreaking investigation. Police say that the little girl talked to her mother on Saturday evening and everything seemed fine then. Hours later, she was dead. 45-year-old Luciano Frattolin did not say anything as he came out of Ticonderoga court this morning. He pleaded not guilty to charges of murder and concealment of a human corpse. He's accused of killing his 9-year-old daughter, Melina, at the end of a father-daughter trip just before she was to return home to Montreal. Police say on Saturday night, he
Jeez.
called 911 to report his daughter missing, a possible abduction near exit 22 of the Northway in Lake George. He said he had pulled over to go to the bathroom and came back and she was gone. The search began. An Amber Alert went out early Sunday morning. But investigators say the father's version of events just didn't add up.
So they went out on a father-daughter trip. They called the mom. Then hours later, she was dead. Do we think that, just based on what you've seen, which I haven't seen much, we'll have to keep investigating, was this pre-planned? Was it premeditated? Or did something accidentally happen? I mean, how do you accidentally drown your daughter? Your 9-year-old daughter. My 9-year-old knew how to swim. Oh, Rebecca. Who has stitches? What happened? Everything okay, Hannah? Are people beating up on you at work again? You had a work emergency. Yeah, people are beating up on Hannah at work. We're going to have to keep her in our thoughts. Hannah says, hi, Indy, Cara, and Maria. A patient fell over. Girl, I went to the rehab this evening to see Nanny, and the door was closed. She had just got back from dinner, and the door was closed down the hallway, and I hear, help, help, from behind the door. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? This is a rehab center on one side and then a nursing home on the other. So I walked by and then I heard it again. Help! I'm on the floor. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I like yelled for the nurse practitioner that's on duty. And I was like, this guy here screaming for help. And the door was closed, so I couldn't see it. And then I didn't want to go in there and open the door on him. So the lady comes like running through and opened the door. And the guy was laying face down on the floor. He had rolled off of his bed onto the floor. And he was like, help, help. Oh my gosh. Tied their little boy up. Had the dog attack him. Joy, that's devastating. That's devastating. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Hannah, quit getting beat up at work. We're worried about you. We're going to have to rescue you. I'm going to go fix their clock if they touch Hannah with your hammer. Just saying. You guys are too cute.
And authorities say they found Melina's body just before 11 a.m. Sunday in the shallow part of a pond in Ticonderoga during an organized grid search. New court documents show that Frattolin is accused of trying to hide his daughter's body under a log in the water. The mother and father have been estranged since 2019, and Melina lived full-time with her mother, according to police.
She had no concerns for her daughter's safety while she was with him. She knew that he was taking her on this trip to the States. Law enforcement was in contact with her, as well as Montreal PD.
Police say at about 5:30 Saturday night, Melina is seen with her father on surveillance video at a Saratoga Springs restaurant, and she seemed fine to her mother an hour after that.
At about 6:30 p.m., she spoke to her mother on the phone and told her she and her father.
Really, Hannah? I just have a black eye. It's all good. Y'all got to stop worrying. Yeah, people are beating up on her at work. Y'all just stop worrying about it, okay? Yeah, just a black eye. And is super positive. Love turns to hate, and hate is the path to the dark side. Look, I'm not letting you write my positive calendar, Orange Rose. I'm not going to do it because that doesn't sound good at all. It sounds scary. Thank you, Abellis. It's probably a beautiful black eye. That's right. This poor little girl.
Were en route back to Canada. The child appeared to be in good health and did not indicate she was under any duress.
Police say any possible motive is still under investigation. The grim discovery of the little girl's body yesterday dashed hopes everywhere.
It was very difficult. It's very emotional. I was at the command post when we received notification that she was deceased. It was very difficult and emotional. At that point, though, the best we could do is provide some measure of justice to the family.
And the father is due back in court in Ticonderoga on Friday. The cause of death for the little girl was pending the results of an autopsy that was expected to be completed today. We will be following up on that.
So since then, we have gotten the results of the autopsy, and it was asphyxia due to drowning. Rubber, if you follow that hearing, let us know, and we'll cover it on the channel tomorrow. I'd like to know if you end up covering the hearing. Let us know. We'll talk about it. Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, the one I didn't get to see. I try not to watch very much TV if I can help it, but my goodness, if this true crime isn't just about the same, right? Abella says she loves you, Hannah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So who's the elephant in the room that I didn't get to see yesterday? Y'all already know. You're driving. Well, be careful. Don't text and drive. Nobody needs that. Okay. All right. Well, yes, you are correct. You are correct. Ding, ding, ding. You are correct. So before I do that, I want to tell you guys one more story. This is a real life story. Okay. But before I do that, I'm going to preface this with saying it sounds worse than it is. So my husband and my son both work overnights, 7 nights a week, 365 days a year. So they're in their car a lot, and they're going back and forth between the house to work and every single day of the year. Last night it was about 11:30, and there's a dark road that comes up uh, to the house about a quarter mile, maybe half a mile from the house. And I get a phone call from my husband, and he says, "Call your son, tell him to get up here. I need him to come up here." And I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "I hit somebody," and then hung up the phone. And I freaked out. "You did what?" And he said, and so I got on the phone. He had my nephew with him. And I called him and I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "We hit somebody in the middle of the road." So he was driving about 30 miles an hour, and there's a sidewalk on the right hand side of the road. My husband's in the left lane, and the man came darting out in front of the vehicle. We don't know if he did it intentionally or if it was an accident, but he hit my husband, veered off to the left as quick as he could. Had he not done that, we'd have been talking about a dead man. But he hit the front, broke the glass, and then chipped off the mirror off the side of the vehicle, and then kind of like rolled. And my husband saw him in the rear view. He thought that maybe my my nephew thought that he hit a dog, but my husband said no, we hit a person. So he waited there. My husband's a Marine. He went back, did everything he was supposed to do, stopped the bleeding, put the towel around him, called 911, talked to the police, did all of the things. The man went to the hospital. As far as we know today, uh, we're not able to get an update. Again, HIPAA. My husband's okay. My nephew's okay. I just praying. This man could have been transient. He had medical socks on, like from the hospital, the anti slip yellow socks on. No, we don't, but we will as of tomorrow. We will as of tomorrow, front and back, just in case. Just because it's a safety measure. It's not something that we would normally have thought about. I don't necessarily agree with having to have everything on camera all the time, but that was a scary situation. And of course, pedestrian versus vehicle is always one of those things where there's not a lot you could do. We do, like I said, think that he was transient. He may have tried to go and jump in front of the vehicle, being as there was a sidewalk on the right hand side and there was nothing to the left. It's a field to the left of that, and it was 11:30 at night. It was very scary. It was very scary. I'm glad that, with my husband being in the Marine Corps, I always worry about triggers, certain kind of things that come up and trigger him. And so I'm just trying to keep him calm for the next couple of days because he's okay physically. The kid's okay physically. The vehicle's got a little bit of things. We'll get that sourced out or whatever we've got to do on finding the parts on that. Insurance isn't going to cover anything because, like I said, the guy, we don't know anything about him. And then, of course, like my husband's a little triggered because he hit a person. He hit a man, and that's scary. So, yeah. Hi, Norma. Welcome in. Could have been any. We don't know. Where he came from is literally where you get out of the hospital and where he was hit is half a mile. So I'm thinking that being as he already had hospital socks on and no shoes, maybe he just got out of the hospital and was walking down the road. I don't know. There's just so many variables to the. Thank you, Indy. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for him. A lot of respect for him. He did everything he needed to do. I mean, he reacted with the emergency medical training that they do give you there. But yeah, it is traumatizing. You hit a dog. Oh, sweetheart. He lived, but still, yeah. And I'm pretty sure that the guy's okay. Mentally, I'm telling myself that, but they won't let us know. Oh, honey. Oh, my gosh. It is wild. Southern Cats, I'm goodness gracious. I'll keep you in my thoughts too. Cause yeah, you hear about it all the time, right? But you never want to see it. You never want to see it for yourself. I never want to think about it. My husband said, I'm really glad you weren't there because I'm super emotional as it is. And then just adding insult to injury, I'd have been a freaking mess. So I am so proud of him. Anyway, back to it. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I share an awful lot of myself, and I really appreciate you guys sharing that with me too. You guys share so much of yourselves with me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay. Um, there was a courtroom packed with heartbreak. Stephan Sterns, the boyfriend of 13-year-old Madeline Soto's mother, accepted a plea deal this week. He pled no contest of first degree and guilty to 20 counts of sexual battery, receiving 21 concurrent life sentences, avoiding the death penalty yesterday. Madeline was reported missing on February 26 of 2024, the day after her 13th birthday. Sterns, her mother's boyfriend, who was supposed to drop her off at school, had no footage showing her for that morning and where she should have been dropped off at. Yeah, justice for Maddie's not served. Abella said people who unalive themselves that way make things a million times worse for everyone, like jumping in front of a train. Terrible. Yeah. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. I hope that's not what he was doing, but it definitely gives the vibe. It definitely gives suicide vibe, honestly. I hate it. Um Anyway, investigators discovered disturbing sexual images and videos of Madeline dating back to when she was 8. Back to when she was 8. They've traced multiple trips by Sterns, dumping her stuff in the trash. Her body was found, um, strangled and dumped in early March of 2024, face down in the prone position in the dirt. One day before his trial, Sterns has decided that he was going to make a deal with the prosecutors in exchange for entering a no contest plea to murder and admitting guilt to 20 of the sexual abuse charges so he could spare the family from a prolonged trial and the state from seeking the death penalty. As part of the agreement, he waived all appeal rights. But we know that that's not true. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus additional life sentences for the abuse counts. Before we get to what this MF said, what did Bella say? You're glad he took a plea, wasted money on trial, and the trauma that comes with that. I'm conflicted. I don't feel like justice was served. And the reason that I feel like that is because the plea that he took was not for her murder. Was not for her murder. That's the only reason. That's the only reason I feel that way. I don't feel that, yeah, we necessarily needed to see everything that was going on, but we did need to see him face the charges for her murder and be guilty of what he actually did to Madeline, not just the sexual, not just the CSAM stuff, but at your son's age. I don't know, I feel like justice wasn't served because he didn't admit to guilt on the capital murder. However, I'm glad he's not on death row. He could have lived a long, long time on death row now. I don't think he will. He might not. He may not last a year. I do feel in some way he's a coward, yeah. I hope so too. I hope you're right, Joy. I hope you're right. Jen is repulsive in your opinion. Justice would have been a guilty plea on all counts and not speaking at the sentencing. Yeah, so there's that. So I can't grasp the selfishness of you, the deplority of your actions. The dead girl's grieving father, Tyler Wallace, told his daughter's killer through tears. What did you guys think of Tyler's testimony? His victim impact statement. What did you think of that? Yeah, I believe I am in agreement with you. I believe I'm in agreement with you. You think Jen's the reason that he did what he did? Yeah, I wish he'd have pled guilty and instead of no contest. I mean, he's not denying it, and he's not taking accountability, either one, and he's still behind bars, getting to live a life without parole and the ability to appeal the shit. When he said guilty for CSAM charges, he seemed proud of himself. So we're gonna watch one of the body language experts break it down and the speech that he gave. I'm really excited to see that. I didn't watch it before you guys because I wanted to watch it with you. You feel it in your bones something's happening with Jen. If he truly meant what he said about praying to God to take him instead, he'd have pled guilty and accepted the death penalty. You don't care too much for Tyler? Some people don't. Some people don't. Anyone who touches my child, y'all will see me in prison or see in prison. Not sure how Jen lived and lives with that. The fact that she didn't say anything yesterday speaks mountains. Mountains. It was a little weird because I feel like he deflected. He was like, because he is having survivor's guilt, right? And he was just kind of like, yeah, I know I didn't get to spend the time with my daughter that I should have because of, and then XXX excuses on why he didn't get to spend that time with Madeline. And I find that a little odd that he felt like he needed to defend himself to the court. Yeah, I agree. It's one of the last things she could have done. You were okay with Tyler's statement? I mean, I don't think it was bad. And yes, at least he showed up. I do feel like it was weird, a little bit of a justification for why he didn't, like why he wasn't present. But yeah, he was, as composed as he could be. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that. I do feel like it wasn't lacking in emotion, but I do feel like it was a little, like, I don't know if you're trying to tell her and make amends with her, or let the court know and the public in that case know that you wanted to do better, but yeah, you feel like everyone was defending themselves in the public. Yeah, I mean, I did get that vibe more than once. Okay, so let's see down here. I don't think there was much more on here. I just kind of wanted to look at the pictures as we talked, because I hate looking at a blank screen. When I'm trying to tell you guys a story, it seems like, you know, let's see here. Open up. Open up, please. Okay. Now, not everybody agrees with these guys, and that's okay. You don't have to, but I really enjoy watching their body language. A lot of times it comes out where they're all four together. It's a whole like body language panel, but this one specifically is just him. I'm gonna leave this in the thing down here for his channel, just in case. I'll leave all of that in the description box as well. Oh, you guys are still talking. Because I've been in his shoes where the other parent held visitation and blocked communication. It makes sense. I did hear his statement. We're going to talk about it. You talking about Tyler or Stephan? Yeah, I heard what the. Yeah, I heard. If Maddie went with Tyler, she would have spilled everything. You think so? You think so? You enjoy have the same brain? Got to do a couple things, but I'm listening back in chat in 5 minutes. Okay, be careful. I do too. I mean, I have a lot of respect for their panel. I mean, they have a lot of lists written. I mean, books, and I love their podcast. I had this on my list to watch. Yay! I'm sorry, but I feel like honestly nothing should have kept you from your kids. If he saw that Jen got full custody, well, adjust your life to that. It's a good point. Yeah, I did see him. It's hard for me to say his name. I know everybody's renamed him Stinky. I just want to call him Dead to Me. Yeah, you can move states to be involved with your kids if that's what you. Yeah, I don't disagree. All right, well, watch this. Definitely have to pause for fair use. We're doing this for purposes of entertainment, criticism, commentary, and research purposes. All the opinions that are stated in between the video are mine, just mine. There is a trigger warning. I want you guys to just listen and tell me your opinions and tell me what you think about what he's saying, about what he said. Miss you already. Maria says you're right, Indy. Some moms or dads make it overly complicated. Do you? Good. Okay, good. I think Stephan and Jen blocked Tyler and Tatiana from seeing Maddie. Did they try hard enough? Probably not. I mean, things that are behind closed doors that we don't get to know, right? I mean, we can sit here, be, I guess, what people call armchair detectives and judge, speculate, which we do, a lot of speculation, and we don't know them. We don't know where it came from. I had a couple of different comments on another video that I did of Tyler where people believe that Tyler might have also been abusive in some regards to Maddie. That was their opinion. I don't know that I know any different, but I don't know that I could put it out on paper and say that it's true. So people have so many different mixed feelings about them. All right, let's watch this a little bit here.
Stephan Sterns was arrested and charged with the murder of Madeline Soto. She was 13 years old. And now he's come out and said he pleads no contest to the charges. The time in court was about an hour and a half, but I've squished it down to just a few minutes to the important parts so we can get a better understanding of what's going on from a body language and behavior perspective. Let's take a look. All right, here he is coming into the courtroom. Doesn't look too stressed, doesn't look very worried. Not a lot going on. Takes a seat, and that's about it for excitement on that one. A lot of times when somebody comes into court like this, they look a little bit nervous, and they're looking around the room, searching for people they know, somebody they can connect with, somebody on their side. We don't see any of that at all in here.
Here I am muted and talking. Did anybody see any emotion at all throughout the entire sentencing from him? Yeah, his voice is awesome. And his hat's backwards. He's an older man. I think he's good looking, in my opinion. He's good looking. My opinion, Tyler thought Maddie was happy and didn't want to cause upset in her life with a messy custody battle. So I think I did hear him say in court that she was turning 13 and that he had talked to her about coming to live with him, or that the courts would give her a decision of who she wanted to live with or which guardian that she wanted to stay with, and he assumed that Madeline wanted to stay with him and Tatiana. I did see that. You think so? The blink rate? Maybe. Me too. Me too. Makes me happy. Okay, let's go a little further.
Again, this is fairly normal. Comes in, sits down. They tell what's going on so everybody in the court knows, so the record shows what's happening and that he's there. And again, he's not looking around very much and he doesn't look very worried. Theoretically, this is a fairly stressful situation. But again, we're not seeing much stress at all. Not much going on here either. He's just saying he can't see the signature very well.
The signature is next to my finger. Can you tell me if that is your signature? It's hard to tell from here. Yes.
Did you guys find that to be condescending or rude, or was it just the fact that he could not see? I mean, we've heard him talk about glasses many times on the phone calls. Was he being a smartass, or was he just like legitimately be like, I don't know, I can't tell if it's my signature or not? Both. like the judge would have any other, anybody else's signature in there. You thought it was rude? Yeah, a lot of people did. Get the fuck out of here. He knows what he signed. I agree. He was rude. You guys are great. I agree with you. Yeah, I think he's condescending. But we've heard all of his phone calls and stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna make the assumption that Scott has.
It is.
It is.
What your signature and a set of initials after each of the 26 paragraphs on each document, those initials being SS, tell me is that you have had an opportunity to read these documents. Do you have any difficulty reading and writing the English language? I have no difficulty.
The only thing we see here is that swaying back and forth in the seat just a little bit. That's normal, but usually there's a lot more than that.
I agree with that. With him saying, I have no difficulty, it kind of reminds me of some of the things that we've seen from his writing and the types of books that he reads and the types of conversations that he has with his parents. It's like he almost felt slighted by the judge saying that. It's typical. It's also typical when you go in for an investigation for them to say, "Do you read, write, and speak English?" before they read you the Miranda rights so that you're able to sign. So yeah. He's claiming his attorneys and the DA lied to him and he wasn't expecting 21. Where did you find that at? Where do you see that at? Let me know. Already fucking starting. Let me know. No, biatch, really. Is it your signature? Piece of shit. I was taught not to hate him. Sorry, Lord, but I hate him. Oh, Orange. A lot of us more than despise this man. Katia, nadie habla inglés aquí. Nobody speaks English. Where's Katia? I don't even see her. His lawyer. Yeah. You'll DM me? Oh, gosh. Okay.
I'm going to ask the deputies to please provide this document to you, and I'm going to ask you to verify that this is your signature. Yes, it is.
He's just verifying his signature. Some of these things are repetitive and boring, but this is what happens in court.
And you understand the 13 additional conditions of your plea agreement. Is that correct? That is correct.
You can tell he's not around microphones much because he leans way in every time he says something. You've probably seen that on TV when people do it. You don't need to do that, especially in this situation. If you'll watch the judge, we can't hear him very well because he's not very close to his mic. I could pass by this section, but I don't want to. I want you to see what it looks like when somebody's just sitting there. A lot of times people get the jiggly leg or they'll start goofing around their hands or drawing or something. A couple of minutes go by and he just sits there. Here the judge is telling him that we all understand you're saying you don't want a trial, you just want me to sentence you. Again, there should be some stress here, but there isn't.
I understand.
Even though we don't have full view of his face, we can still see how fast he's blinking. Now, the normal human blinks about 15 to 20 times a minute. That's how many times this guy's blinking. There's no stress here. Now, we do hear a little change in the volume of his voice. Why would that be?
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or mental issues that cause you not to understand the decision that you are making? I am not. Do you understand if you are not a United States citizen, that entry of this plea would subject you to deportation proceedings?
Yes.
And if you ever before had been convicted of a sexually violent or a sexually motivated offense, entry of this plea would have subjected you to involuntary civil commitment at the conclusion of any incarcerative sentence. You understand that's the state of Florida law.
Yes.
I think the guy's getting bored. I don't think he's concerned with what's happening. I think he's starting.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. That is exactly what I thought. When I was watching the whole thing happening, my thought process is this motherfucker is sitting here bored. He is bored to tears with this courtroom. All of those people behind you that you haven't seen since you were arrested are sitting in the courtroom behind you, and you're so unbothered. You're so unbothered. Hey, Ava. Nice to see you. The dude is all fucking unbothered. Like, literally, Madeline's father is sitting behind you seething. Tatiana is sitting there seething. Her grandmother, Stephanie's on the uh, Zoom call, seething. And these people are just writhing in their seats, wanting to get a piece of this dude. They're interrupting his freaking candy and books. This is, to me, it's fishy. It's fishy. If for any reason they go back and he appeals this or says that his attorneys did him wrong, the DA did him wrong, that's not what he pleaded to, that's not what he was expecting. Why didn't he say any of that while he was sitting in court yesterday? Not a word came up. Not a word. Ridiculous. Yeah, bored little man.
You get bored, but he's getting a little bit louder. About 3 minutes pass here. The judge is talking to the attorneys. It's fairly boring, but still, I want you to see what he's doing. It's almost nothing. A lot of time passes here, so I sped this one up too. Watch this guy. He's breathing normally. He's not moving at all, not even a little bit. He's not even scratching anything. He's just sitting there. This lets us know he's not worried. We haven't seen one thing that shows us he's stressed. We heard him get a little bit louder. That would suggest his stress level's going up. But again, I just think it's because he's bored. And when you're bored like that, you'll do something. You'll rock back and forth. You'll jiggle your leg. You'll do something. Stretch your neck. He's not doing anything. This is odd behavior. It doesn't look odd when you're just sitting there looking at him because he's not doing anything. But the odd thing is he's not doing anything.
Sterns, how do you plea to first degree premeditated murder in 24 CF 1293?
No contest.
That's the one that got me. I could have dealt with anything else in the plea agreement except for this one right here. I think I could have dealt with it mentally. Like, okay, they're going to spare all of these jurors from years of having to go through therapy. They're going to spare us, the invested YouTubers of Snark World or whatever we're considered, that want to see this guy fry in a air fryer. And they're going to spare us all of that because we're way too far invested and we're way too emotional about the case. Okay, admit you did the shit. That's it. You do? You think because of the other party that there might be another party involved? After this sidebar, Judge Carson looks pissed. I think there's something in his paperwork that pissed him off. I saw that after you said it, Carl. Went back and rewatched. I agree. If we don't catch it here, I'll go back. I'll go back. You think it's because of the other party involved? It very well could be. I mean, shit, who knows? We need to see something quick. They either need to come out and say something. You know, my other thought process was if he turned on the people that were most directly associated with the CSAM that came out of Kissimmee and came out of Osceola County in the last year and a half since he's been incarcerated, and he's catching some of the bigger fish and throwing that to the courts, and they're getting caught. I can see that. That still has the CSAM had nothing to do with the the death penalty, though, in my opinion. So I don't think they should have accepted it, unless, like Joy's saying, there's something bigger. But who am I? No fucking remorse in his sloth, ugly voice. I agree. Don't even care if he didn't end her. Either way, he ended her, if you know what I mean. I agree with that. Yeah. But he's not winning. Nobody's winning in this. The little girl's dead. That little girl's dead. She's never coming back. It doesn't even matter about the winning part. There's no winning. Look at him. He's pathetic. Faith in nothing. I hope so. All right, I'm going to put my thoughts in that direction, Joy, and just hope that my anger will be validated at some point. I'm still angered. Did I hear the judge wrong that he gets to try for parole in 25 years? He signed the thing that says he wasn't going to, just like Bryan Kohberger does, that he says he's not going to appeal. He got multiple life sentences, yeah, one after the other. Sorry, I read your question wrong, Ava. I'm so sorry. No parole. Life without parole. I'm sorry. I read your question wrong. I was on a whole different thing. I was thinking about the plea agreement itself. Judge Karsten pulls off his glasses and his face is red after the sidebar. You even see Karsten take an exasperated breath. His defense will try to blame her. He shouldn't get protection. You're right. It's pathetic. I agree. 100%. No protection.
This is the most action we've seen so far. But don't worry, it gets a little bit more exciting because he's going to talk in a couple of minutes because they give him a chance to say what's on his mind about this murder and his involvement with it.
Counts 14 through 20, lewd or lascivious molestation. How do you plead?
Guilty.
This one should be action-packed. The judge asks him what his plea is here, and he says guilty. That's it. We don't hear any emotion in his voice. We don't see any movement on him. We're not seeing anything.
Guilty.
Makes you wonder what's going on up here from a psychological perspective. Are we dealing with a psychopath?
Agreed.
Guilty.
Agreed.
This is the saddest part about these things. The friends and family get up and make what are called victim impact statements or testimony. And they tell how much the little child meant to them and how much they loved her. And they talk about family and how long they've known her and all that, and when she was born, those kind of things. But I want to show you this because I want you to watch this guy. Because he just sits there. He doesn't do anything. Now, his statement's going to come in a little while, too. We'll check that out. And I think you'll find that really interesting.
Thank you, Your Honor, for having me here today. I've known the family for over 15 years. I am best friends with Maddie's aunt and was roommates with Maddie and her mom during the time her life was ended.
He gets a little bit uncomfortable because he rubs his eyebrows and then kind of scratches the side of his face. I'm sure that would make anybody uncomfortable. It should make anybody uncomfortable. That's about as much action as we're going to see from this guy, though. You just saw it. That's it. It just peaked. He leaned down, straightened his eyebrow, and scratched the side of his face. This girl's having to call in on the phone to give her statement. This guy doesn't even move, not even a little bit.
The silence where her laughter used to be is deafening. The hole in my heart is bottomless, and the pain is indescribable.
For this one, I'm just going to let it roll by, too. I've sped it up a lot. There's people just standing there crying and talking about how they feel, and it's not even bothering him. He's not doing anything. It doesn't bother him, not even a little bit. He doesn't even look at the person.
You had the opportunity to hear that anguish and fury from your actions. As to first-degree premeditated murder of Madeline Soto, you are adjudicated guilty and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. As to the capital sexual battery of Madeline Soto while she was under the age of 12, for each count, you are sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
He's just been told by a judge he's going to prison for life without the possibility of parole. And what does he do? Nothing.
Absolutely nothing, because he doesn't give a shit. So his ability to appeal is limited, Rebecca, but it's not entirely taken away. He still has post-conviction relief options. It's like the same thing that the judge said in the Bryan Kohberger case. Even though he signs a waiver, it says he's not going to appeal. He still has the ability to appeal in certain directions. Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have the right to appeal, Joy. I agree with that, but he will. Let me go back up here and find it. It's limited circumstances, but the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that there are certain constitutional or jurisdictional issues that may be appealed even after a guilty plea or a no contest plea in an agreement to waive their right to appeal as part of the deal. It was in a couple of different rulings in the Supreme Court. I'd have to find. There's one that is cited in Bryan Kohberger's hearing, and then there's also the Class versus United States in 2018, and that's where the Supreme Court held that a plea does not bar a defendant from challenging the constitutionality of the statute, saying that the statute itself is unconstitutional, the jurisdiction was unconstitutional, ineffective counsel, that kind of thing. So he can't appeal any pretrial judgment regardless. He can appeal, for example, ineffective. Yes, exactly. Exactly. There are wormholes in the wood. Yes. There are wormholes in the wood. It's gross. It's gross, but there are wormholes. No, absolutely, he's a pathetic piece of shit. I wasn't saying that he's winning. It was just, no. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I know exactly what you meant. No, you're fine. You got to feel all those eyes on your back, right? You've got to feel them. Technically, I think he was on work detail with the guy when it happened. Oh, you must be talking about Dahmer. If he appeals, his plea will be withdrawn and the DP will be back on the table. If he felt my eyes, he would be on fire. I detest that animal. I agree with you. Putting the 10 Commandments on classrooms is unconstitutional, but here we are. Yep. Ineffective counsel. Yeah, well, that doesn't change them from saying that they didn't get effective counsel, or, kind of like Sarah saying, well, I didn't know. Owens didn't tell me anything. He didn't tell me anything. Thank you, Hannah. I appreciate that. I understand that. I appreciate that.
This probably bothers you as much as it bothers me.
For the sexual battery of Madeline Soto between the ages of 12 and 18, you are adjudicated guilty and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
There's this count of life in prison without the possibility of parole. What does he do? Nothing. We don't see him scooch around. We don't see him take a deep breath. We don't see his head move.
Lewd and lascivious molestation of Madeline Soto, you are sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.
And there's another life in prison without the possibility of parole. He's just sitting there.
Let's place Mr. Sterns under, he's been previously placed under oath.
Yes, Your Honor, I would like to make a brief statement. I agree that it's not fair that Madeline is not here anymore. I still have a hard time contemplating a world where she's not around, a world which feels less vibrant and less colorful than it did before. I've prayed to God countless times to trade places with her, to take me instead. And unfortunately, that's just not how he works. I have nothing but sorrow for her loss, and I miss her all the time. Her passing has torn me and my family apart as well, and she truly was a joy. I pray to God that she is in heaven and that he's taking good care of her. And I hope she gets to join the choir because she had a beautiful voice. I will miss her all the time. I will never not honor her memory. And I apologize for all the pain.
That was 1 minute and 14 seconds. It takes him 1 minute and 10 seconds to get to the part where he says, I apologize. But he doesn't say, I apologize for what I've done, for the harm I've caused, for the horrible things I've done. He says he apologizes, but he doesn't take responsibility for any of it.
And I apologize.
That's the way I see it. He didn't take responsibility for a fucking thing. Orange Rose, thank you very much for the $9.99. Again, here's some more lives. Love you, Keo, and chat. And we adore you, Orange. I really appreciate that. Thank you so very much. I don't have any way to thank you guys for all that you do for me. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for dropping that. My jaw dropped when I heard him say he wanted to make a statement. Yeah, I didn't watch it live. I'm watching this now, and I'm having a lot of emotions. I heard that he talked, and I heard like a second of it, and I turned it off because I wanted to watch it with you guys. I wanted to watch it with allegedly yesterday, and I couldn't either. I had to turn it off. We were out doing. Grandma got out of the hospital, so I had to take her home. She was a joy. You disgust me. Disrespectful. Violent thoughts. Yeah, I'm with you, Teresa. We're in the same room. Don't dare him use your name. He made himself a victim. Fuck you, Stephan Sterns. I will hate you till the day I die and rue the day you were born, piece of shit. Yep. Thank you. I love playing it for you guys. Blind sack of shit. He's got you guys all triggered, doesn't he? Yeah. You felt sick during and after. I'm sorry. Maybe it is for the better for most of us that we didn't have to see the jury go through that trauma.
For all the pain.
So he's made his pleas of no contest and guilty. Now he's going to get up and leave. And when he does this, what I want you to do is pay attention to his face. See if you see any emotion in there whatsoever, even a little bit. See if you see a smile. See if you see his eyes squint. See if you see his eyebrows come together. See if you see any movement at all in the brow. See if you see anything happen on his face other than a blank expression.
Conclude our plea and sentencing hearing. We'll be in recess.
I did see him kind of look down at that lawyer a little bit. It was weird. He kind of looked down, like I don't know if he was looking at like below her neckline or if he was just looking at her.
We'll be in recess.
Did he literally just look at her like chest area? Is that just me? Are y'all seeing this? Is my little guy in the way? Let me know. I swear it looks like he's looking at her chest area. Oh my god, are you serious? That is creepy. Okay, watch.
We'll be in recess.
Oh my god, that was weird. Oh, that was so weird. Can y'all move so we can see his face? Thank you. So he did look a little bit at the camera. His lips are pursed. He's got a little furrow in the brow, but not much. He's stoic, though. Sorry, no offense, stoic. Pouting a little bit, yeah. Joy says some of the last boobs you'll see, buddy. He's looks like he's got a little chunky with his secretary ass. He really is like truly almost emotionless, though. It's gross. Not my fault, Mom. Right? I'm looking down at that lawyer's boobs. Freaks me out. Joy's throwing all the voodoo at him. Oh, that pisses me off, that statement. I didn't start it. It's catfished. Ugh. Voice cracks a little bit about Maddie, you think? For himself or for the fact that he's like, yeah, he's gained a little weight. Look at him. And I've heard a couple of different creators that come from the prison sector. The long johns that are underneath what he's wearing are not cheap. So he's definitely got somebody giving him money, which we know who that is. So
He's coming up.
wow. Hannah's running him over with the car. Cindy's throwing tomatoes.
Oh, sorry for the delay.
It's awkward.
Just started in about 5 minutes.
Not a problem, Judge. Thank you.
He's hovering. Yeah. Elise, hello. Hello. How are you? His little pale hands. He looks like a vampire. Before we get his take on it, Orange says, "What makes me the most upset is that he doesn't give a rat's ass. He got what he wanted, and his parents still love him." Yeah. Okay, good stoic. Sorry. There's a lot of people that look stoic but aren't stoic like you, like aren't the stoic. Let's see what Scott says about the interaction.
Did you see anything? I didn't either. And what does that tell us? Tells us he might be a psychopath, could possibly be one, because we don't see any emotions where we should. We didn't see him feeling sad for anybody or sorry for anybody. We didn't hear him say he took any kind of responsibility for what he did, except for saying he apologizes, but he doesn't apologize for what. He just says how he misses that girl and how sad it is she's gone, but he doesn't say it's his fault. He doesn't take any of the responsibility for himself. We could be dealing with a psychopath here. Time will tell. All right, if you have any questions about body language, just email me.
If you got any questions about body language, just email Scott. That's crazy. Some people watching Stephan Sterns during court appearance and interviews might speculate that he's a psychopath. It's based on certain body language cues and behavioral patterns. It's also important to note that only a licensed psychologist can make a diagnosis using clinical tools like the psychopathy checklist. But here's some reasons that are listed why people might perceive him to be a psychopath, especially in the context of a highly emotional criminal case where he was. Hey, how are you? I'm sorry it's been crazy there, but love you too. So nice to see you. Welcome in, allegedly speculating. That guy is like if Bob Ross was lie detector. I never thought about it that way. That's too funny, Stoic. So the lack of visible remorse would be the first thing that people see, right? He appears cold, very emotionally detached, especially when he's discussing the victim. But Indy said that he kind of had a little bit of a cracked voice. I personally did not hear that, but I believe you. I believe you. Yeah. Yeah. I think he has a little bit of touch of what it reminds me of oppositional defiance disorder. I don't know what they call it now, but back in the day it was just ODD. I don't know if it's under a different falls under a different category now. How did Jen not see his effect? It's so creepy. The looking down at the lawyer's boobs. Is that something he normally would have done? Like, is that the way he looks at women? We heard the one what was I can't remember I can never remember her name. Is Angelica or the other girl that was there that says she feels like she's a victim, like she's a victim of his, and now she can't even have roommates. She can't have roommates because he violated her privacy, put the damn phone under the door and violated everything about her. Hey, good to see you. I allegedly speculating says he wants to make the women uncomfortable, right? Yeah, it is creepy. No, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. ODD still ODD? Okay. You asked Uncle Google? Okay, good, Anna. Yeah. Not only is it heartbreaking, it's just like, who even are you, dude? Not in the sense of like we make fun of each other on YouTube. Like, who even are you? But you're so weird. Like, if you're a true psychopath, they're gonna get down to it. He doesn't cry. He doesn't show guilt. He doesn't make any emotion at all when he's describing the way that he feels about Madeline or the violent events or the pain that he caused. He doesn't smile, but he kind of smirks inappropriately when he's looking into the camera during the time of his arrest. So it's like during like serious emotional moments when he should be sad, he's showing a different emotion on his face. But like now he's just stoic, doesn't show any emotion. He's just flat. Regardless of the topic that they came up with during the whole entire hour and 15 minutes or hour and 30 minutes of the hearing. Nothing. Nothing. How's Uncle Google, Hannah? Did his mom make him a computer? I just thought about it. The roommates gave impact statements, so I'm sure they knew about the underdoor recording. Wasn't that him or the wrong person? No, they gave impact statements, or she gave an impact statement yesterday, but they also had interviews as we've gone through the different parts of the case. A lot of that stuff can be found on Allegedly Speculating's page. She did all of those. You can actually hear them talk about it and then show pictures, and they tell the girl, hey, you were a victim of this. He put this on the outside of your, the bottom of the bathroom door. And so, yeah, it was this case. He doesn't consult anyone else ever. I mean, even if he did, he would make himself the most smartest person on the planet. He knows better than you. He's always going to teach you something. We've seen that. The best body language, just written language that we can come up with has come from all of the emails that we've gotten to see from Jessica's page, to be honest with you. When the police confronted him with what they found on the phone, he's almost offended that they would have accused him of such a thing. Agreed. Consider not consult. Oh, okay. Here's your proper hello, Stoic. I think you've been a member for 2 months. I just love your picture. You're such a pretty little girl. So pretty. So pretty. Now his dad made a computer. Okay. Yes, Rubber. The roommate gave an impact statement saying it hurt her very badly and she doesn't feel safe. Yeah, he's given her like PTSD. It's ridiculous. This is what the roommate insinuated. He recorded her unclothed. He's ick. Yeah, it was an insinuation that he recorded her unclothed. We didn't see that. All we did was hear the interview that the police had with her, and we saw the picture of, you know, of it, like an insinuated picture of underneath the bathroom door. But yeah, I mean, what do you do in the bathroom? There's a couple of things you do in the bathroom. So yeah, it's definitely an insinuation. I don't know that we know if they're giving him meds. I think it's come out on a couple of different places, though. If he said it himself through the phone calls, or if you have inmate behavior notes or anything that's come out from the jail site itself that's mentioned whether he's on any kind of medication or not. That's the only place I can think of that it would have come out, but I can't verify it. AS might know. Thank you. You're sweet. You're sweet. He is just gross. Yes, that would be great. 3 vials of meds, IV style. Girl. So the flat or inconsistent affect, over controlled or rehearsed movements. So I didn't see. Did you guys see a piece of paper in his hand? Did the lawyer give him a piece of paper in his hand? Or did he memorize this poetry that he wanted to say to Maddie? Did he have it memorized? Good night, Cara. Sleep sweet. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon. Hopefully, we'll see you for the Bryan Kohberger sentencing tomorrow, Cara. So I didn't see a piece of paper myself. So to me, it's a little maniacal in my head for him to have remembered or had this like poetry in his head. Yeah, you think he had it memorized? Yeah, it's like maniacal to me that he's had this poetry like written in his head. You had how many months to come up with this? And that's what you said? It fell flat to me, and people were angry about it. Thank you, Stoic. Just sent you something on Discord, an hour-old article that sounds like we hear Travis the day of the fender bender. That's for you, allegedly. Night, Cara, everybody says. Buenas noches. Oh, yeah, it's tomorrow. I just don't remember the time. The way he paused between speaking makes me think he didn't have it written down. Yeah, that's what I was saying is he's either really good, in debate team way back in the day when I was in high school, you had to come up with things on the fly. And a lot of times that happens in YouTube too, right? Creators get up here, we see a comment come by, we kind of have to adjust what we say. No, you're good, Abella. Send that over to Jess. I'm good. I follow everything from Travis Decker through allegedly, and then as soon as he gets arrested, we're gonna talk mad shit. If he's alive, well, they'll either find him or they'll find his bones, won't they? But one way or another. So the robotic or controlled posture, it suggests maybe calculated behavior, which is the way I see him sitting in court. It's kind of controlled, like robotic posture sitting there. The eye contact, it's either intense or it's unblinking. So that is perceived as predatory or completely absent, which is perceived as evasive. Those are the two categories. They see predatory, the slow blinking, unblinking is perceived as evasive. That's interesting. Charm or manipulativeness. Okay, allegedly, here it comes. A psychopath uses flattery, storytelling, or overly charming behavior to either gain sympathy or to teach you something. Speaks with confidence and arrogance even when he's facing a serious accusation. Interesting. Surprise papers to graduate high school, right, Teresa? Like it happens. Some of us are really good at improv, but not all of us, right? Some of us are kind of like, no, you need to write that down or I'm all over the place. ADD, ADHD, whatever they call it now. Yeah. Yeah, it is spot on. It is spot on. It's ridiculous. So that's what I'm saying. Some of the emails that we're seeing come out of allegedly speculating side of things when she actually wrote to Stephan Sterns is actually showing us a lot of the insight that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. Now that he's taken a plea deal, he might be more apt to agree to talk more openly about things. But up until the day of the sentencing, and he may not after that either, because if he does plan to appeal, saying he didn't, ineffective counsel or he wasn't expecting what he got, et cetera, uh, then yeah. Okay, what's next there? Subtly or overtly blaming others for their own actions. So we did hear it on the phone calls. I didn't start it. She did, right? She didn't start it. She didn't start it. She was a child, but he didn't start it either. So who started it? Who started it? She was a child. They present themselves as the true victim, even in situations where they have clearly harmed someone else. The fact is that he didn't start it. So what was her fault? It was Madeline's fault, right? It was this child's fault who was walking around and laughing and joking and being her jovial self in front of you, and it was her fault because it just is, right? They refer to themselves as heroic or exaggerated terms. I feel like I hear that when we're talking about Disney and where he sat as an employee, is that he kind of made himself sort of exaggerated, maybe a little bit heroic, focuses heavily on how events impacted them and not the victim. So how did the events that happened with Madeline affect him and not her? I'm sorry for the pain, not necessarily the pain that I caused you, not necessarily the pain that I caused Madeline, not necessarily the pain that I've caused the public and everyone involved. I'm just sorry that this has caused pain. You're sorry you got caught. You're a piece of shit. That's what happened. You got caught. So the lack of appropriate social cues. He misses social boundaries, like joking or making personal comments during court, which he did not do. But I do feel like I have seen in the emails back and forth with Jess that he did miss the social cues that she presented. Like he would make a joke about something that wasn't appropriate at different times. Like he wasn't really grasping. He's not dumb. He wasn't grasping what she was saying. He was grasping it, but he was making an inappropriate comment over the top of that. Like it was just his comments were like, like about the tahine. Like I don't know. It was just weird. He said he missed her. Yeah. Ugh. Ugh. He engages in gestures that feel performative rather than genuine. Forced head shakes. The only head shake that I saw was performative was at a hearing that he had when he looked directly at the camera, and I feel like he nodded at the camera. He did not do that at the sentencing hearing, but he did do that at the last hearing. So anyway, psychopathy. Words are hard. Psychopathy is characterized generally by traits like superficial charm, the lack of empathy, shallow emotions, manipulativeness, and antisocial behavior. Shares overlap with outward behaviors. In high profile cases, especially criminal ones, and especially ones that are geared against children, people often are hyper attuned to any sign of his inhumanity or coldness, and the body language becomes the key focus for all of us because obviously we can't catch anything any other way. So we have to hyper focus on the things that we get, the little grasps. So the thought process that somebody writes to Stephan Sterns to try to get an insight to what he did, why he did, how he did it, where he did it from, and his responses to that, they will study the body language or they will study the written language. And it's the only thing. It's the body language is the key focus because that's all we get to see of him. Now, the written language, we're going to be hyper attuned to any sign of the coldness or the inhumanity that's involved in that. He wrote everything he wrote, and there was about himself. So gross. He did that was the one he knew I was watching and thought he had a friend, I think. That is definitely a possibility. He did nod at the camera. He definitely did do that. He is far more demented than we ever figured. I wonder if he killed animals as a child. If God rue the day. I hope not. I hope not. His mansplaining was gross too, right? I agree. So some of the cues, though, so we don't miss it, so we give a fair shake, right? Could be explained away with medication, or as he likes to explain away, a trauma response. Most of us know what the trauma response he might be trying to explain away, um, possibly a TBI, maybe. Cultural differences. I don't know anything about his background as far as his culture is concerned. As far as I know, it's just basic, you know, social anxiety, um, overt PTSD, and if he's had any coaching by his legal counsel to try to remain expressionless, especially during a sentencing, sentencing hearing where you'll have all of the family around and stuff. So it's easy to misread body language, especially through true crime speculation, right? Because we want to see something. We absolutely want to see something, but it's understandable why everybody here would be emotionally connected to this case. And we might see him as, presenting indications of psychopathy. Jeez. Maria, sleep sweet. We'll see you soon. Who's going to write the book? You are. You write the book. You write it. I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for you to write the book. So I wanted to talk about a couple of more things, but I think I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I've got a couple of things going on in the background that I didn't expect to come up. I still wanted to talk about Malcolm-Jamal Warner, um, the young man that died from the Cosby Show. I say young man. I think he was 54. His cause of death was revealed as a drowning today. It makes me sad. I watched the Cosby Show growing up, and regardless of what has come out of that, the show itself was wholesome as we were growing up, right? And I thought a lot of it at the time. And so, yeah, I'm really kind of sad about Malcolm-Jamal Warner. So rest in peace. Erik Menendez, um, he's asking his lawyers to help him seek immediate release from prison due to his diagnosed serious medical condition, of which has not been released to the public yet. They're going to have a parole hearing. I think there's one coming up in August, I believe, right? Was when their hearing comes up. So we'll see what's going to happen then. But he is suffering from a apparent medical crisis. Yeah, Theo passed away, Abellis. It's sad. And then, of course, we have a Bryan Kohberger um, sentencing hearing for the Idaho 4 tomorrow. He's pled guilty to the murders of all 4 of the students, and he's going to have a sentencing hearing tomorrow. It should also be something that's probably going to be on all the best true crime channels during the day. So I'll try to cover it tomorrow night after everybody has gone over it and see what everybody has to say about that. I really appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. I can't explain what it means to me that you guys come in here and spend the rest of your evening with me at the end of every day. So, as always, thank you for hanging with Hio. See you guys soon.